Hey fam, so I have a problem again. It's another new problem. Being born in a generation that was raised with cell phones and chat rooms, I generally know how to use them. You merely adapted the phone. I was born in it, melded by it. As the technology changes, so does the culture around them, like how to use it and when to use it. And certain technologies are used by different generations. Like if you go to an event, you might see a cute old couple in the back standing there trying to take a picture on an iPad like this. But no one our age takes pictures with iPads like that. You might see a bunch of little kids in the front taking pictures on Snapchat and dabbing everywhere. Last year, my technological competence was taken away from me when I went to the hospital and they gave me this. What is this? It's like a Nokia Bricks homeschooled cousin or something. I'm going to tell you a little bit about pagers, the culture around them, and why they're still used. So pagers were most popular in the 80s and the early 90s, and they were kind of a way of saying like, look at me, I'm super important. People have to get a hold of me for stuff. And unless you're Dennis Duffy from 30 Rock, beepers are making a comeback. Technology is cyclical. You don't need one of these for personal use anymore. They used to be mentioned in songs even by like Tribe Called Quest and Destiny's Child. And there's a Destiny's Child song where the lyric is, it's not hot that you be calling me, stressing me, paging my beeper. Hear that, girls? Stop paging me so much. I'm getting stressed out. I can't handle all these pages. Also, just for the record, to clear out any rumors that are out there, Beyonce and I do page on the reg. There, I said it. The problem with pagers is that you can't respond on them. There's no keyboard. Look. And the message has limited space, like Twitter, you can only give so many characters on it. So why is it that we still use them in hospitals? A typical page might say, patient blah blah blah, needs an order for Tylenol. Or if something is really urgent, someone might just send you a number that you need to call. Those are the ones that really make you shit your scrubs because you don't know who sent it, where they are, who it's about, how urgent it is. You don't know anything, so you just have to drop everything you're doing and call immediately and see what's going on. Frustrating thing is then you now have to go find a phone and call them just to reply. Let's get weird. Cell phone signals use UHF frequencies. That means ultra high frequency. It reminds me of that movie that I've never seen featuring Weird Al called UHF. So you're on a hexagon grid, and that's called a cell, hence the name cell phone. Here you are. You're trying to call your bae over here. So when you call, it goes to the nearest tower, then that tower sends its information to another tower over here, and then that one sends information to bae. With this type of signal, the towers have to be spaced out every 10 miles. For a pager, they use VHF, or very high frequency. This is actually lower on the spectrum, or a wider frequency. The nice thing is that lower frequencies can go longer distances, and they also pass through stuff easier, like they can go through walls and stuff. For instance, radio signals are even lower frequencies. So, let's say you're in an elevator. Your phone call might drop because the UHF signal can't go through stuff very well. You can still hear that hot new Nickelback jam on your stylish, personal FM radio that I totally, definitely, absolutely know you have in your back pocket. Basically, pagers are closer to the radio signal so they can go through stuff better. And since the signals go farther, the towers have to be like 170 miles apart instead of 10. All of this explains why when you were sexting in the depths of a cave last weekend, it's not getting to bae outside. Even though you're sitting in that deep, dark cavern, they can slide right into your pager DMs, and you'll still get it, living that VHF life. You just can't send one back. The next reason pagers are so lit is the battery life. Even though Tim Cook wants to make your iPhone battery last as long as possible, my main man, Tim Gross, who invented the pager, he was like, nah, this shit lasts like 3 weeks on one battery. Even Tribe Called Quest made a song mentioning this. The lyrics are, the batteries I use are Duracell. They last for 3 weeks, so they do me well. Thanks, Fife. So in hospitals, we can still have good communication for weeks. Even if there's a natural disaster or a power outage or something happens, we have a good form of reliable communication still. So even though this thing might be clunky and have a very limited role, it gets shit done.